Google XML Sitemaps adds a map to all of the pages on your website. This too helps the search engines figure your website out so they can send more people your way. There's also a Google privacy policy that needs to be installed now. There's also Google XML Sitemap for videos, which can be added to your website in the future once you get a few videos on your website, if you do have videos on your website. It's a Google world. So Google privacy policy is a must. This is a legal page, one of the many legal pages I'll be giving to students of this course. So of course we need to add a new page. We call this page Privacy Policy. And we publish it. Now we go back to Plugins, Add New. We do a search, Google Privacy Policy. Install now. Activate plugin. Settings. Google Privacy Policy. This time we highlight from the edge of the arrow to the edge of the arrow. Copy it. Take it back to that page. And again, you can't be on visual. You've got to be on text. Paste it right here. And update this page. Your website now has a legal privacy policy on it. So again, plugins, add new. Search for Google XML Sitemaps. Install now. And eventually, some of us will be installing Google XML Sitemaps for videos. Activate it. Now at this point, we need to go back to Google Webmaster Tools because we have to submit that new sitemap to the search engines. So you find your website, click on it, and right here it's telling us no sitemap, so click here. Add test sitemap. Type this in. Sitemap.xml. Submit sitemap. Refresh the page. Now from your domain, if you type this in, the search engines can find a full map of your website. This gets very handy as your site gets bigger, of course. That was pretty easy to set up, so let's get on with the next one. Permalinks moved permanently is another plugin that helps with SEO by changing a page URL if a link happens to be broken on your website. This one doesn't take much to set up at all. And this one's going to be very fast to install, but it's a very important plugin. So let's search for permalinks moved permanently. Install now. And activate it. Wouldn't it be nice if they were all that easy? SEO Presser is without a doubt the world's top SEO plugin. This one isn't free, but for anyone that can afford to pay $47, it's well worth it, and it's also very easy to install and set up. This plugin works so well that I'm actually still going to use the original version of it, even though I do have all of the upgrades. You'll see how I use it in the eBusiness Masterclass content creation training. This time around, things are going to be a little bit different. The SEO Presser plugin is the first WordPress plugin that I've ever paid for, and I'm glad now that I did. It does amazing things, and this is the plugin that's helped me a lot when it comes to learning how to optimize a blog post or a web page for the search engines. This is also known as on-page SEO. When we actually buy a plugin, we download it from the site that we bought it from, so they must be uploaded from our hard drive as opposed to from the inside of WordPress dashboard. You can see here that although I have an up-to-date version of the SEO Presser plugin, I like the original version so much that I'm going to be using it instead. So I'm going to drag it out onto my desktop. And you can see here all of the videos that I'm recording for this WordPress tutorial series. Now as for buying this plugin, I felt at the time that it was a necessity, but anyone that takes the EBM Content Creation Masterclass is going to be taught everything that I learned from this plugin. So whether you buy it for your website or not is totally up to you. So this time from your dashboard, when you go Plugins, Add New, you're going to be choosing Upload Plugin. Browse, find it on your hard drive, open it, click on Install Now, and activate it. Now when we go back to our website and refresh, you're going to notice that SEO powered by SEO Presser just showed up, and these have live links going out of your website to another website. Same thing as proudly powered by WordPress. These links should be deleted. We'll get to the WordPress one later, but for now, let's change the setting in the SEO Presser. So click here, click Settings, uncheck this, scroll down, and Save Changes. Now when we go back to our website and refresh, you're going to notice this disappear right here. There we are, and that is the SEO Presser plugin. The SciCaptcha Anti-Spam plugin is another one that stops comment spam, and it helps with your website search engine optimization. This one adds a captcha form to your website that people need to fill out before they leave a comment. This one stops the internet bots dead in their tracks. We're getting quite close to the end of our list now, which is a good thing. So plugins, add new, search plugins, SciCaptcha Anti-Spam, right here, install now, and activate. And this one comes pre-set up, so you don't have to worry about doing any setup, which is a good thing sometimes. The Simple 301 Redirects plugin allows us to make an easy to remember link when we want to send someone to a website outside of our domain. Okay, this time, Simple 301 Redirects. Although there's no setup to it, I do want to show you how to use it. Install now. Activate. Now it's going to show up down here in Settings, 301 Redirects. Okay, right here, if we type in fan page, or it could be Facebook, or it could be whatever you want it to have here. We enter in a destination URL right here. So for first page traffic, the Facebook fan page, that's this one. Copy it. Enter that in right here. Save changes. Now when anyone goes to yourdomainname.com / whatever you just typed in there, it's going to take them wherever you wanted them to go. So that's pretty simple. The Sociable plugin makes it easy for anyone to share the content from your website and send it out on their social networks. It adds whichever buttons you choose to add on your website so that with one click, your pages can be shared. For anyone that happens to use WordPress themes on Genesis Framework, I recommend the Genesis Simple Share plugin instead. This time we're going to be installing the Sociable plugin. What this plugin does is at the bottom of every post, it's going to leave these little icons, and if someone comes and reads your post, if they like it, all they need to do is tweet it, Facebook share it, stumble upon, delicious, and so on. They can also like them if they want to. And I'm going to install it and activate it. As far as setup, each website should be set up individually, so I'll leave the setup part to you, but there's not really that much to it. So let's install Sociable. Install now. Let's go back to our website and let's click on this blog post. You can see on this page that there isn't anything below here. So let's activate this plugin. Let's go back to the website. Let's refresh the page. You can see all the icons just showed up. And again, you can pick and choose which ones you want. So moving on. The Tiny MCE Advanced plugin makes it easy to change the text on your web pages. This one actually does take a little bit of work to set up, but it's very well worth the time. There's no sense in having content on your website if it's too small for people to read. Again, we add new. And search for Tiny MCE Advanced. And make sure you type it in small caps, large caps, just like that. Let's install it. Let's activate it. And this one does require a little bit of setup. So we go down to Settings, Tiny MCE Advanced. Okay, what we're going to do here is left click some of this stuff and pull it down here out of the road. This doesn't need to be here, so pull it down. This. The first thing that we want to have right beside paragraph is bold. So again, left click, hold it, and drag it down. Now underline right beside the B. Now italics. Right beside italics, we want font sizes. Right beside this A, we want font family. And let's switch these around. And let's get rid of this question mark. And that is it. Any MCE Advanced is all set up. So save changes. So everything is installed and set up other than my wishlist membership plugin, which I'll get to in the advanced training. And this is your complete list of WordPress plugins. And finally, I use Wishlist Member, a plugin that protects content on a website. This one I'll be installing and setting up in some of the advanced training for people that want their own membership site. That's it for the plugins for now. Keep in mind that eBusiness Masterclass training will be updated well into 2017, so changes may occur as the internet changes. Make sure to keep an eye out for the updates. And what I'm doing right now is going to move into WordPress settings.